Isang Kababayan Today, your premier resource for anything and everything Filipino and Filipino-American, where every so often and very regularly we give you your immigration update.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Richard Lowe, hello and welcome to Kababayan Today.
How are you?
Happy early Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Wednesday before, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, people in the Philippines have some stuff to be thankful for as well, regardless of the devastation of Typhoon Haiyan. In fact, in connection to that, there is an effect in immigration.
Yes, generally speaking, when you have devastation and this order in a country, the United States does look to try to ease some immigration burdens that may be fallen upon them. And essentially, you can think of it as doing extensions of things or expediting other benefits. So,
okay, let's talk about that. That's certainly good news, especially for people out here that are waiting to get their immigration documents in order. The first one is extensions or changes of status, even if filed after period expired. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, so for example, if you're here, say as a tourist, and the hurricane hit and you've overextended your tourist visa, they'll give you an extension of that tourist visa or give you a change to another visa like a student or something, and they're more likely to grant that. And even if you've gone beyond the period where you were supposed to file, which is normally...
Do you have to prove that you have relatives in the affected areas, or does it matter?
With anything like this, you have to show hardship and that you were affected in some way. But I think they are more amenable to allow Filipinos to do these kinds of extensions in this situation.
All right. Number two, extensions of certain grants of parole.
Usually not applying to Filipinos very much, but again, this is part of the extensions. If you're here on a parole, if you had been granted a parole for some reason, that you can get an extension of that parole in order to remain in the United States a little bit longer.
This one I'm quite familiar with, extensions of advanced parole and expedited requests. This is for if people want to visit the Philippines?
Yeah, that's correct. So if you're in for example, a process of adjustment of status and you're applying for advanced parole, they will expedite that request now so that you can get back and see your family.
Number four, expedited adjudication and approval, where possible, of requests for off-campus employment authorization for F1 students experiencing severe economic hardship. What is that?
Yeah, so normally you're here as a student, you can't work until you go into your OPT, your optional practical training at the end of the period. But now, because they understand that there is some hardship on you, perhaps financially, that they will allow you to work during this time. So you can get a work authorization even though you're still in a F1 status.
But also, it has to be, you have to prove that you're perhaps needing to send money to the Philippines and all that.
Right. Again, you're going to have to document a little bit of the hardship that's going on and how you or your family has been affected.
All right. Number five, expedited processing of immigrant petitions for immediate relatives of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents.
So this is very important. Actually, CIS is identifying or trying to identify those immediate relative petitions that they can go ahead and grant and approve and move forward so that they can get those processed at the consulate quicker, so that they're going to move that process up for immediate relatives. That would be parents of U.S. citizens or children of U.S. citizens or spouses of U.S. citizens.
Those that are being petitioned that are in the Philippines.
That are in the Philippines, right.
Okay, all right. And number six, assistance to LPRs stranded overseas without immigration or travel documents, such as permanent resident cards. Yeah,
you know, sometimes in a case like this, they may have lost their documents or something, and they will make that process easier to get those documents to you and work with the State Department in order to go to not only the embassies but other locations so that you can get documents that you need to leave the United States. Leave the Philippines.
Yeah, kung ako po sa inyo, I think you should call Aquino & Lowe Law Office now, because there's a lot. There's 6 different cases, and I'm sure if you find yourself in one of those cases, you may benefit from this, correct?
Right.
Until when are they going to do this?
I think that's probably just a wait-and-see kind of thing. They're going to see how the situation develops. I mean, for right now, this is in place, and I imagine it would be for a little while still.
But better do it now than wait, correct?
Yes, that's
while
absolutely
it's still available. And one final thing, I talked to Ronnie about this earlier in our news segment, temporary protected status.
Yeah, so this is another benefit that many people now are lobbying to try to get this benefit extended to Filipinos here in the United States. Of course, people from El Salvador and Honduras, Nicaragua have had this in the past, Haiti most recently. And this would allow people to remain in the United States legally, to get work authorization, and to even travel outside the United States. Obviously, it would affect millions of Filipinos here in the United States who are either here or in removal proceedings as well. Those would be terminated. It's a big deal. There's a big lobby for it. 20 senators senators have signed on to a letter saying that they want it. That's bipartisan.
Right.
There's lots of organizations that support it, and I think right now this is normally a request that comes from the Philippine government to the United States to have this happen, so I think that's what people are waiting for now.
So our president in the Philippines, President Noynoy Aquino, should be the one, his administration should be the one requesting for TPS.
That's right. That's the normal protocol. Although it's not required, normally the U.S. will wait for the other government to engage them to say we would like this extended to our citizens here in the United States.
All right. Well, hopefully that is done, because this is obviously a big problem affecting a lot of people, and some of us here can benefit from that. For now, thank you so much for explaining those to us.
You're welcome.
More power to you. Again, information on the screen. That's the phone number to call. And like I said earlier, there's so many cases here. You may be able to qualify. You may benefit from this. Call them now. Don't waste time. Meanwhile, when we return on Kababayan today, we have more for you. Don't go away.
Walmart lang ang merong 1-hour in-stock guarantee ngayong Black Friday. Arrive within an hour pag nagsimula ang event at Black Friday